Kyso is an aggregator for research within a company that plugs into all the different tools used by technical teams, so things like Git, S3, Jupyter, and also those used by non-technical teams. So the platform is a central focal point where all results from across the organization can be published and collaborated on regardless of format. There are two core concepts to the platform. The first is publish however you want, so whatever your workflow is for generating insights, and the second is publish whatever you want. So whatever presentation outputs you're creating, HTML, notebooks, websites, apps, PowerPoints, Google Docs, you should be able to easily share all of this work in one place. Now let's imagine for a second that I'm a data scientist working in a Jupyter notebook locally. Now this can be wherever your data science workspace is. So for example, if you're running Jupyter or something in Domino or Databricks and you have access to a terminal, this will also work for you. I want to publish my results, but this project contains not just this notebook with some exploratory data analysis, but also HTML outputs and a PDF presentation. Now there's not a lot of places where I can share all these file types together where they're indexed and readable. Using the Kyso CLI, back on the terminal, I can just run Kyso push, and Kyso is going to read in the folder's metadata and push my project automatically upstream. And here's the report. We can interact with the graphical outputs. We can browse through the different files on the report. This is the PDF presentation. And we can also collaborate by making comments directly on the report, even inline here, just like you would in Google Docs. We can also track changes made to the report through time here. Right, so there's a connection between the published report on Kyso and the source analysis that is maintained. So if we make any changes to the report, for example, let's just change the color of this graph, save those changes, go back to the terminal. We just need to run that same command again. And a new version on this existing report is going to be pushed to the same URL. And our change is immediately reflected. Now, because this workflow is all based on a command line interface, this makes us super flexible and workflow agnostic. If we're working with Git, for example, we can plug the CLI into Git CI pipelines. So we have an action file here in this repository, and what this file is doing is that it's creating a runner every time we push to the repo, and it's logging us into Kyso and publishing our work upstream to the platform for a wider audience to view. Now this workflow can be configured to work however you want. For example, you can choose to only push specific tags or branches. Now away from the data teams, we can also publish research directly on the browser. And there's a couple of different ways to do this. We can simply upload report files. Let's just upload a PowerPoint. Give a report a title, select the channel we want to publish it to, hit post. We can also write up reports from scratch in Markdown in Kyso's web editor. So we can document our work here. We can attach files to the report. Let's give it a title. And similar to the upload page, we just need to choose which channel we're going to publish to and hit post. And finally, we can also embed external pages into Kyso. Right, so this is any external BI dashboards or applications that you're running, or Google Docs, for example. All you need here is to supply the URL, and this will embed the report as an iframe into Kyso. Again, let's choose our channel. We can optionally add a description and tags if we like to, and just hit post. And these kinds of reports as well, we can open up in full screen. So we've already seen that we can publish things like notebooks, PDFs, HTML, PowerPoints, Markdown, and we can embed dashboards. And we can add to this things like other Google Docs sheets and slides, any RTF document, full websites, which again we can open up in full screen. And soon, very soon, we're going to be able to deploy and host data applications. And we will continue to add to this list. The objective here is that the entire spectrum of possible presentation and documentation outputs can all be shared in one place, so it works for everyone and not just specific teams. And for security, companies can leverage Kyso's fine-grained access controls. So users can choose whether they want to make their work public internally, or they can publish into private channels, right? So within which access is restricted to specific subsets of users. For research discovery, there are two levels to Kyso's search engine. The first is based on report metadata. So these are variables that all Kyso reports contain, for example, organization, channel, tags, authors, and titles, and you can even add your own custom metadata. So when research is published into Kyso, it is indexed and categorized by this metadata. And then we can search within our organizations and channels using these variables. All content published to Kyso is also indexed full text. So no matter the file format, whether it's PowerPoints, apps, notebooks, or anything else, this means that we can actually search by the internal text content of our project so that we can construct very specific search queries to find what we're looking for. And this will just return a list of reports across all organizations and channels that we have access to and which match our query. Note also that comments are indexed for search. This means that important conversations about project insights that previously might have been hidden in silo communication channels like Slack and email are now indexed for discovery and attached to the Kyso reports for everyone to find. And that's the general idea. Kyso is a company's universal data portal that renders everything for everyone, regardless of report source or format. Now there's much more that I can't fit into such a short video. Please feel free to sign up to the public SaaS version to learn more or contact us if you're interested in a private deployment.